our socks, we're going to donate socks to like a homeless person. And you're like, well, that's really nice. I'm glad you do that. But you know what I'd like even more? If you just fucking made your socks, you sold them, you made good socks so that I wanted to buy them just because they were good socks. And then because you're a good company, you just give money to homeless shelters and you give socks away and you don't make it part of your marketing strategy. You just do it and you do it quietly because you're making money off of your good product that you're selling. Stop trying to guilt trip me into buying your shit because it's going to do something nice for somebody else, which I know you're putting into the price of the product, the fact that you're giving product away. So really, I'm paying for this all the way through, and you want to take it like you're the angels who are doing the right thing for society. Like, get the hell out of here with that shit.
Well, yeah, it's virtue signaling basically, and a clever marketing tactic. You're absolutely right. It's if it was really coming out of the kindness of their heart, they wouldn't really say anything about it. I feel, but.
Yeah,
it's a way to sell
but
socks.
They literally, like, there's all these businesses now that they start up with the idea, well, what we're going to do is we're going to sell this product and then we're going to give some of the proceeds away. But the problem with, like, starting your business that way is you're now building the fact that you're giving money away into the cost of your product. Because if you're starting up that way, you're looking at every single cost that you're going to have. So you have to think, well, if we're going to give these socks away, right, what's that going to cost us? So how much do we need to charge for socks to be able to give more socks away? So this all goes into the planning of the business model and how you present it to the people who are going to invest to help you get off the ground. So never is this money coming from a place of goodwill where this company just started, we're going to make good socks. All of a sudden they make the best socks. They're like, wow, now we're really profitable because we're making them at a huge volume. So since we're making so many socks, we're making bigger profit. Well, now that we have all this profit, we can just give it away and do the right thing. Like, that, in my mind, is how if you want to do the right thing, you do it. You don't start out going, yeah, we're just gonna build that into the cost, and we're gonna tell everybody, hey, you should buy our stuff because you can feel better about yourself when you do. The whole thing is just it's just messed up. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. A very weak ending to that, but it does bother me.
Yeah, talking shit about sponsors that we don't have yet. Fucking.
Well, I wouldn't want their sponsorship.
Yeah.
I want Red Hook, and that's about it.
I need a sponsorship.
Jim Beam.
Well, Jim Beam would be fantastic. I could even aim a little lower and just, like, I'll take some free Gold Bond. Like, there was I don't know. There was a sad moment in my life that my half stack just became a nightstand for bottles of Gold Bond, and I don't know exactly when that happened, but it's depressing. But there's another.
There's no. What a sad, very visual representation of the metamorphosis from youth to fucking old man ball problems.
I think that's where it starts. But I hear commercials in a lot of podcasts for features, which are like supposed to be like specialty compression running socks, which sounds nice, but every time I hear one of those promotions, it says like get $20 off your first pair with our promo code. Like, how expensive are these fucking socks? I've never bought a pack of socks, like a 15 pack of, well, it would need to be 16 because 15 socks isn't very good for anybody. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, it could be a 15 pack a pair.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, just the black ankle Walmart.
No, that's
socks,
how they label socks, Matt. They label it by how many pairs. I'm totally derailing you right now, but we need to clarify this. They don't say on the sock package how many socks are in the package. They say how many pairs are in the package. Let's clarify that. Buy 2 socks, get the third one free with our special offer.
So I got some big news.
Yep. What's that? Oh, fuck, big news.
Yeah. My brother told me that he's just giving me his car, which is kind of nuts.
His car?
His car. He lost his license.
Holy shit.
At least his license got suspended, and I'm not good at receiving big gifts, and like I called him back about that. And like, look, man, I really appreciate that. Like, so it gives me something to drive to work, although it has fucking expired temporary plates on it, so I'm still taking back roads. But all the same, at least I don't have to worry about fixing it.
But you'd be able to actually register it, though, right, if you wanted to?
The check engine light's on, so I don't know if it would pass, because I think it's late 90s. It's a little Ford Escort.
So you're really not in any better situation than you are right now.
I just don't have to worry about fixing it is really the main thing, because I had another wheel bearing going out on the truck, so... it's at least something that I don't have to keep dumping money in for the time being, which is helpful. But I called him.
Well, I suppose we got a little bit into personal business there, because I'm not sure that we've ever discussed truck problems or why your truck has been a problem, but it's been a very serious issue. I mean, maybe a little background is necessary.
That truck has been a fucking nightmare for 3 years. Like, I bought it for $3,000, and I've probably put $5,000 into it, and it's just been nothing but a goddamn nightmare. But that's really all that needs to be said about it.
And there's registration issues. This is why I was asking about the registration, because you have to pass emissions, which is supposed to be good for the environment, but if you're a broke person, it's really just like a law against poor people.
Exactly. It's a over 20-year-old truck at this point. It shouldn't have to pass, but it does. I guess that changed because, like, I swear years ago, once a vehicle was 20 years old or older, you didn't have to pass emissions anymore. Now, apparently, it has to be made before 1995. Otherwise, you still have to pass. And I'm lucky me, I'm still in one of 3 counties in Wisconsin that requires you to pass emissions. I don't know what that says about Wisconsin, really, but... albeit, like...
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's the worst thing, but there needs to be some sort of, like... In my opinion, it needs to also be tied to, like, people's financial well-being. Like,
right.
So for so many things, like, if you get a ticket, right, you can go into court and you can say... I don't have enough money, and they might work with you on the price, or they'll like definitely give you like a payment plan or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we not have some with these emissions for people who like, listen, I can't just go buy a new vehicle, right? Like, but I need to be able to drive, and I can't get pulled over on my way to work, you know, every week, every 2 weeks, driving back roads, costs me all this time. I have no freedom because I don't have the money to afford to buy a new vehicle to pass emissions. Yeah, that's great for the environment, but I'm a person living in the environment right now, and I need to be able to be productive. And how am I going to be productive? How will I ever afford to get a new vehicle if I can't get to work because you deem my vehicle, you know,
right,
too shitty to be able to use? I just really cannot wrap my mind around how those laws are even like legal to some degree, you know?
Well, and it really sucks. I mean, like, this is going to sound like I'm making excuses, but this is the honest truth. The reason I stopped going to the gym and I'm like, I feel like a flubby schlub right now is because I kept getting pulled over every time I go to the fucking gym. And, like, it's $100 ticket every time. Like, 3 times in a row, coming back from the gym, getting pulled over on Highway 32. Like, God fucking damn it. Like,
jeez.
So, like...
You know, and I would keep my vehicle, like, to me that sounds like a positive because you got a sweet excuse to not have to go to the gym and fuck going to the gym. No, I can't.
I need it.
Yeah, dude, it's unbelievable. And you know what? If we just want to make... If we want to make one of these arguments that I'm not sure that, but I really do want to say it is a law against poor people. I was hoping, you know, we talk about, I honestly just want to talk really about how fucking great I've been feeling these last couple days after I went on the Alaskan flu cleanse. And I think this is really going to take off in like California. And there'll be different flus for everybody, you know, around the world, like they're whatever cleanse they want. But now that COVID's like taking the cake is like the extreme, you know, virus that people, not that people thought flu was all that extreme, but flu really, it's softened its image because of COVID a little bit. And so 5 days I have being really sick and like not partaking in any of my bad habits, not having a single drink, hardly smoking any weed, not smoking any cigarettes. My brain cleared up. All of a sudden I got healthy. I was hydrated. I was eating good food every day, you know, and but not too much food. And I came out, man, I was like looking kind of not shredded because I'll never be shredded, but I was thinner. My brain was clear. Just I'm feeling great. And I just, you know, the flu cleanse, I really think like, you know, is going to take off as the next big Hollywood craze.
People getting sick on purpose. Like, yeah. Is there going to be a shot for that, or like a pill, or are you just going to like find someone who's sick and have them sneeze in your mouth? Like, what's your distribution?
So there'll be Hollywood orgies.
Oh,
they'll find somebody who has the flu, and then they'll all go have an orgy in their mansion, you know, and drink children's blood at the same time.
Those like chickenpox parties. Kind of like that, but this is much more of like a secret, like behind closed doors, eyes wide shut situation where everyone's wearing like those masks, but they're sneezing in each other's open mouths and fucking at the same time.
Exactly. That's like the height of like sexuality at one of those parties is like somebody comes up to you and they just sneeze right in your mouth and you're like, oh yeah, give me some more of that.
I've heard that some people actually like having sex the most when they're sick, and that doesn't make any sense to me, but like I guess like the theory behind it is that like your entire body is more sensitive, so it heightens your nerves are, because you know how you get when you're sick, how like, you know, your nerves are really sensitive to touch and all that. So like I guess I'm
gonna be honest, this didn't come up this last time I was sick, but like a couple years ago, I was sick, and I did happen to notice that I'm always way more horny when I'm sick, and I could never figure it out why. And I ended up doing a web search, like, are other people? Am I the only one who just is like extra horny when they're sick? And I did discover that other people, you know, often are sick, and I saw different theories of like, you know, something about like being cared for, but then another compelling one was like, well, you're in your bed, you're just laying there all day, you know what I mean? You probably like end up scratching yourself, like, you know, you're a guy, especially, then all of a sudden, you know, one thing leads to another. But my theory was like, maybe it goes back to evolutionary times where like you're sick, this might be your last chance to procreate, and it's like, I better go fucking get this done right now.
I get that line of logic.
That's my theory.
Could be. Save the species, man.
Right.
Ugh. So I had a banh mi for the first time yesterday. Like, you ever have one?
What is it?
A banh mi. Vietnamese sandwich.
Like the candy?
No.
Oh, sandwich.
Yeah,
okay,
it's like pulled pork and like pickled radishes and carrots and like all this stuff, which I don't know. This isn't all that interesting, but I have to say that it was really good, and hell yeah. well, because my buddy came over and we were hanging out, and he after we went and got a sandwich, a couple beers, we came back to my place, and I randomly clicked on this one movie on Netflix that I really got to recommend. It's called Freaks. It's a Canadian movie. It stars Emile Hirsch, who I've always really liked him as an actor, but I never see him in anything anymore.
Me too.
But yeah, it's called Freaks, and I don't want to give too much away, but you should, like, everyone should really check it out. It's all I'll say is that it starts, like, the whole movie kind of like takes a lot of twists and turns where you really don't know what the fuck is going on until like probably the last 20 minutes. But it was like, I've never been that happy with just randomly clicking on a movie on Netflix in a really long time. It came out like 3 years ago. So definitely check out Freaks. It does not, the start does not seem to match the end, but it definitely does. Like, it's a whole fucking ride, and that was awesome. By the end of the movie, I was just like, fuck yeah, man.
So I'm glad you brought up movies, because I had a thought while I was watching one the other day, and you know how there's the